Welcome, I'm Jean Swidler, a C9orf72 carrier and advocate for the genetic ALS and FTD community. So I knew that there were some facts about ALS and FTD and C9orf72 that had never been combined before that would answer some questions that I had about this gene and its effects on people. So first, we can tell how many people are diagnosed with C9, ALS, and FTD each year. We can take the incidence of ALS and FTD, and then we can multiply that by the prevalence of C9 in that disease, and then we can arrive at the incidence of C9, ALS, and FTD, which I've calculated at 0.651 per 100,000 people, equaling 2,163 people in the USA per year. We also have the average age of onset of C9, which is for ALS and FTD both 58. So if we're assuming that the incidence of C9, ALS, and FTD is roughly the same, which is often held true for rare diseases, then we know that in 58 years, the 2,100 people who will be diagnosed in 58 years with C9, ALS, and FTD just got born this year. So we can calculate a rough estimate for the total population of people who will develop C9, ALS, and FTD in the future. Taking the incidence, multiplying it by the average age of onset, it provides us 125,000 C9 carriers who will develop most likely ALS and FTD in the future. We do know and strongly suspect that it's not fully penetrant. So assuming a 90% penetrance, that population grows to 142,000 people who are asymptomatic C9 carriers. So just think about that for a second. If a safe cure for ALS were found, there would be a compelling reason to give it to over 5 times as many C9 carriers as people who are living with ALS at any given time. Well, is this a big deal if C9 is not fully penetrant? Why worry about it, you might say. So let's explore that. Let's look at the life expectancy for someone with a C9 mutation, assuming a 90% penetrance. So if we assume that we know the percent that are ALS and the percent that are FTD, and we know the average age of onset for those diseases. And then further, we do have documented average disease lengths for C9, ALS, and FTD. We can get the life expectancy for a C9 ALS patient at 61, a C9 FTD patient at 65, and then the 10% unaffected at 77. Doing a weighted average shows us, wow, people with C9 live much shorter lives than people who do not have C9. About 12 years less, more for a woman. So C9 carriers would like a long retirement as anyone would. So come to see my poster. Thank you for stopping by, and please ensure our community is represented in your research.